Hello, hello, beautiful people. This is NataliaPH, and it's Monday. Beautiful Monday today, and we are going to do Q&As. I had several broadcasts last week where I discussed the Lovetarian way with you. I have discussed the pillars, and during that week, several questions culminated, and they're actually all revolving around very similar topics. But before I go there, I want to let you know that you can, if you would like, you can ask me your live questions. But if I would like to see your name asking a question, please make sure that above this video that you're seeing right now, you will click on the message that says that you have to give permission to StreamYard to show your name. So I'm looking at you here, but I have my laptop right now here, and I can observe if there is any live questions coming in, so then I can address them as you ask them, okay? So just make sure, if you are here, to click above this video, give StreamYard permission to show your name, right? So then I can see not just comments, but also actually if anybody is actively asking questions. So please do that, say hello, and then I can go from there. All right. So let's start this broadcast like any broadcast. We will first take some deep breaths, get centered, get grounded, and then we will go into questions. All right. So let's take 3 deep breaths together, please. Let's take 3 deep breaths together. In through your nose and out through your mouth. Let's go again. And again. Perfect. Now let's see. Oh, I have my first hi. Hello, Cecile. Good. As a reminder, if anybody else came in, make sure that you will give StreamYard permission to show your name, so I actually know that you are here and what your name is. Okie dokie. So questions. Interesting thing, because of all the questions that I had gathered over the last week, they were all revolving around more or less the same thing: finances, health, and anxiety. So what I'm going to do, actually, for all of you who are not really familiar yet because you haven't seen the previous broadcasts, I'm going to remind you how you can address any of those issues with the algorithm of co-creation. So I'm going to share my screen, and I'm going to show you what that is, and I'm going to refresh your memory, or actually tell you about it since you might not know. And then we will go into answering one by one the questions that you had. First one was on finances, second one was on health, and the third one was about anxieties, and it was all about how Lovetarian way can help me improve my finances, improve my health, and release anxieties. So one of the tools that I'm using while I'm talking about the Lovetarian way is the algorithm of co-creation. So in order for me to address those questions, let's look at the algorithm. I'm going to share my screen so you can have a look at the slide. Let's see how we can do this. So here is sharing screen option, share screen, and application window. Bear with me. This, I would like to show you that window. Let's see if I manage. Yes, share. Okie dokie. So tell me that you can see this. Can you just say that you can? in the comments. Could you see my screen? I presume that you can. Good. So, the algorithm of creation. It is all about energy, okay? Energies are what everything is consisting of. Your feelings are energies. Every single thing you are experiencing in this lifetime is energy. This pen also. Those energies are vibrating at different frequencies. So every single thought that you are thinking has its own unique frequency. Who said yes? Could you tell me your name? I don't see the name, Facebook user. So above the actual live, you will be able to see, to give StreamYard the permission to show your name. Could you please click it so then I will know what your name is and I can address your questions. Thank you. Please do that so I can see what your name is. Whomever has not done it yet, please give StreamYard permission to show your name, guys. I see that you are coming, but I don't see your names. So please do that and then comment and say your name. Thank you. So everything is energy, okay? So your thoughts are energies and they are vibrating at certain frequencies. There are very powerful energy fields in this beautiful, vast, infinite energy field that I called the Divine Mother creatrix of all life. Some people call it universe, some people call it source, other people call it God. Whatever resonates with you, it doesn't matter. The matter of the fact is that it is a field that vibrates with energy, okay? So now, the energy that is the most powerful one is the energy of overpowering unconditional love. It just is. It's the nature of all of it. It's a very, very high frequency. Very low frequency field is the field that is revolving around fear, okay? So think about it. All the feelings, all the thoughts that are revolving around fear, whether it's anxiety, guilt, blame, shame, anything that makes you feel like and constrict, okay? This is a very low vibration. But anything that makes your heart expand, that's love. We're just going to make a shortcut. So we're going to have two fields, okay? Love up there, fear down there. And then you've got a lot of stuff in between, okay? This is a huge shortcut, but for the purpose of answering the questions, we've got to do the shortcuts. If you would like to get the long explanation, you need to go and rewatch all my lives and go to the units where I'm talking more about the Lovetarian way and the pillars of the Lovetarian way. Today is Q&A. So, the energy of thoughts. Now, somebody asks me, I have problems with finances. How can I improve my finances? So I'm telling to you this. Use the algorithm of co-creation, use this equation, and think about your finances now. So what kind of energy of thoughts are you aligning, are you connecting with your finances? Is it joy, enthusiasm, love, or is it everything that is deriving from fear? I mean, this is kind of a rhetorical question, isn't it? If you don't have money, if you are not satisfied with your finances, you're going to feel horrible, bad, you're going to feel fearful, you're going to get depressed, most of you, you're going to get obsessive, you're going to be feeling very paralyzed oftentimes. And when you feel like that, when you have those thoughts, it's very attractive, you know, those energies are very attractive, and you're going to start attracting more such thoughts and more such feelings. When those get together, like the algorithm shows, what kind of emotion is going to be your dominant emotion, right? Well, it's going to be very much fear-based. And oftentimes you are going to get paralyzed, you're going to get very sad and depressed, and you are unfortunately going to be in a very, very bad state, and from that state, you are not going to be making very empowering decisions. Is that a fair assessment of life that is happening for you right now? The person that asks the questions, I'm not going to be using names, of course, I don't want to put anybody on the spot here. You know who you are. But could we say, without any judgment, completely calmly, that, well, it's not the most amazing life, right? And the actions that you are making from this state are, could we say, desperate? Could we say uninspired? Could we say survival-like? Because if you are like 90% of people that have issues with finances, that is most of the time what it is. There is no passion, there isn't much inspiration, there is just worry, concern, a lot of anxiety, and a lot of depression. So now how could we use the Lovetarian way and the tool of the Lovetarian way, the algorithm of co-creation, to reverse this situation? It's not going to happen overnight, but what can happen overnight is you might be able to stop and consciously pause for a moment and become aware of what you have been doing up until now, that you have been perpetuating the state that you are in by perpetuating and feeling constantly the feelings you've been feeling, because you've been thinking the thoughts you've been thinking all the time. You've been in it and you've been paralyzed by those feelings. You might have been even drowning in those feelings. So you have not been able to move up vibrationally whatsoever because you've been trapped, right? So we need to reverse it. How do we reverse it? Well, the good news is that you have the power to change the mechanism because you were given, good news, a free will. A free will allows us all to just take a moment, no matter how bad life might be going, we can stop. We can all stop for a moment and consciously look, even if you're just going to take a pen and paper and you're going to do the exercise, you're going to write this down, this whole algorithm, you're going to write this down, and then you're going to look at the thoughts, okay? The thoughts that you have been thinking, and you will write them down. I have no money. I have been depressed. I have been doing everything that I can think about, and it has not created the results that I want. All those thoughts, I want you to write down. And then what I want you to do is the conscious awareness and the opposite of that. You're going to start writing down the exact opposite of that, okay? So it's going to be an exercise that will allow you to move this around, to turn this around. I have no money, okay? That's a fact for the moment. And that's what you write down. This is what it is up until right now. I am though open and receptive to turning this around. Is this something that you can be open to? I am asking you right now. Is this something that you can be open to? Could you open your consciousness to believing that this little formula can help turn your life around? So we are going to start playing with the thoughts that you had written down, the negative, fearful thoughts. We are going to be looking at them and we are going to be turning them around one after the other, okay? Until the moment when you say to yourself, okay, I can see the pattern, a very negative, fearful pattern that I have been perpetuating in my life. However, now I can see that there's another way around it, and I can choose to consciously change the direction of my thoughts. Does it make sense? Does it resonate with you? I want you to do a specific exercise with the finances. So you say to yourself, I need to pay, I don't know, $800 in rent next month, and I don't have it right now. Okay, that's as simple as that. That's a fact. When you see that thought, all sorts of weird thoughts are coming, right? Most of the time they are going to be unpleasant and they are going to be fearful. So now I propose to you that looking at the equation of this algorithm, you are going to put a new thought there. And I don't want you to say anything like, oh, I'm going to win lottery, or somebody's going to gift me the money. That is not in your control. Okay, that is not in your control. And of course, it can be very possible that you are going to get a surprise from the universe. We are always open to those. But now we're talking about you being a conscious creator of your reality, and you as the creator of your magic. You are the one who actually has a conscious control over your thinking process. So this is the exercise I want you to do. I want you to start thinking a different thought and be open to the possibility that it presents. Everything is energy and everything vibrates at different frequencies. If you're thinking the thoughts that are vibrating from fear, you're very, very low there, okay? But if you open yourself up to hope, faith, possibility, trust, you start increasing your vibration. And what do you think that happens when you do that? When you do that, what happens is that other thoughts that are of similar frequency, the thoughts of hope, the thoughts of faith, the thoughts of possibility, they start to get attracted to you and to the train of thought. So once you put down something positive, that I am open to possibilities, I am open to new streams of income, I am open to ideas, I am open to, I don't know, new partnerships. You start writing those things down, even if you have to spend, I'm telling you, even if you do 3 pages of more positive, higher vibrational thoughts, I want you to do that. This is an exercise that you need to really put some muscle into, because for a very long time now, you have been practicing the opposite, right? You got used to thinking other thoughts, and you have gotten used to feeling certain feelings around it. Now you are choosing to think different thoughts. You are choosing to train your mind and your body to a new pattern. So do that, okay? Write down, so I need to pay whatever. That's that's something that is a fact. There's no judgment there. That's just needs to happen. And then I want you to start putting thoughts that are more focused on opportunity, possibility, optimism. And I want you to write down something as well, that nobody knows enough to be a pessimist. I mean, this is one of my favorite mantras. You understand at this moment in time, since you are here, you do understand that everything is energy. And in the field of energies, there is enormous amount of possibilities and opportunities. So you do not know, I don't know, nobody knows what is out there and what is possible, okay, for you and for me and for the whole world. So you need to promise yourself that you really are not going to be going down depressed. You are going to say to yourself that I just don't know enough to be a pessimist. It is a waste of my time. Thoughts are things. What we think and what we feel gets really empowered and becomes really strong emotional state. And from that state, as you can see from the algorithm, from that state we act and we create results in our life. So what I'm inviting you to do with this exercise, whether it is going to be about finances, or it's going to be about your health, or it's going to be about any single thing in your life, I am inviting you to say to yourself always that you just do not know enough to be negative or to be pessimistic. And another thing I want you to always keep in mind, worrying about anything is actually very energetically demanding, okay? You can put the same amount of energy into being optimistic, hopeful, as opposed to depressed and pessimistic, okay? So what are you going to choose? Because if you listened to lives from last week, pillar number 1 of the Lovetarian way is taking 100% responsibility for your life, okay? Your life being a combination of different energies. The thoughts that you're thinking, words that you're speaking, feelings that you're feeling, because all those are creating your experience, right? So now I am giving you a tool that I want you to practice over and over and over again, whether you are worried about your finances or you're worried about your health, whatever it is, you can use this little mechanism and take pen and paper and start practicing. At the end of the day, it's going to come down to you practicing. And the more you practice, just as a muscle, okay, just as a muscle in the gym, the more you practice, the better your mind is going to respond. You are going to literally create new neural pathways in your brain. And over time, the more you practice, the better it will become, and it will be easier for you to literally think better, think more positively. You might ask, oh, Natalia, what is the benefit of this? Okay, like I need to pay $800. I will come back to the same thing I just said 5 minutes ago, that nobody knows enough to be a pessimist. I can give you some examples from my life. I actually did give you examples from my life in live that I did last week when I talked about needing to manifest $1 million in 30 days when the bank terminated my loan. What was it? 8 years ago. Well, we had chosen to do exactly that. We had chosen to focus on the positive side of things. We had chosen to focus on positivity. And when we had done that, thanks to those thoughts and thanks to those positive feelings, thanks to believing, we had received a message that we should actually chant a very powerful mantra that is called Shrimbrazi. Go back to last week, because that will also help you with your finances. If you are willing to put in the work and believe, you can then practice a mantra called Shrimbrazi. So go back to last week's recording and find recording when we were talking about pillar 1, okay? I believe it was. Just look through the lives and you will find it. I mentioned in the text mantra Shrimbrazi. Do that. So now you've got 2 tools to answer your question. How Lovetarian way can help improve my finances. So that would be practicing the algorithm of creation consciously. And here you also have now a mantra called Shrimbrazi, which you can start chanting today. And I explained the exact mechanism in that live, okay? So let's take, she actually allowed me to use her name, Kate's question about how to turn my health around. Well, now this is going to just get deeper, because this is going to be exactly the same mechanism now, okay? We are going to talk about your health and algorithm of creation. I will tell you my story now. It maybe allow you to make it more real, okay? When I was in my 20s, I got a diagnosis that I had lymphoma. Not a very pleasant at all, not pleasant news whatsoever, right? To hear that for a 20-year-old or for anybody to hear that you have cancer, that's not really great news. And I was not at all enlightened or even not on the spiritual path, not consciously, because obviously we are all on a journey and this is a journey of the lifetime. But at the time when I received it, I was completely not having the tools that I have right now. Nevertheless, in my heart, I knew that there is a way out. So when I got the news about my health, and that was pretty much, do the chemo and go through the operation and all of that, I intuitively reached out for this mechanism without even knowing that it exists. So when the doctors told me that I had lymphoma, first reaction was shock and complete, disbelief, okay? But later on, just after we calmed down, me and my parents, we calmed down, we immediately reached out for hope. We reached out for possibility. We decided to not believe. We said, okay, we are going to do some research. We are going to actually find another person to maybe tell us something different and find out if there is another opinion about this state that I was currently in. Because let's face it, diagnosis, don't know what health problems you are facing at this moment, you didn't say. But any health condition, it's a state that your body is in, okay? Even the word disease says that your body is out of ease. Disease, body out of ease. So what needs to happen? You need to bring balance back to your body so that all the cells can become healthy again, the ones that are diseased, okay? Wherever the disease might be, whatever it is, we need to bring balance back. So in my case, apparently there was a blockage and the doctor called it lymphoma. It was in my throat. So what we had done, and this is something I'm proposing as well to any person that also only focuses on medical diagnosis, that they would reach out to healers. I reached out to bioenergotherapist, and that person came to my house, checked the energy fields of my body, said, okay, there is a little bit of a blockage, but he then moved the energy around in my body, and he said, you are fine. He didn't call it cancer. He said there was just the energy blockage, and he moved the energies in my body, and that was fine. But we also, of course, at the same time, parallelly discussed with the doctors. At that time, maybe right now I wouldn't need to do it, but at that time I was very much into traditional medicine as well. And don't get me wrong, I've got nothing against traditional medicine. In fact, if I ever, knock on wood, would get into any sort of medical emergency in an accident, I would like doctors to deal with me. Nevertheless, when it comes to conditions that are chronic or cancer, there could be another life about it, but I'm not going to get into it. I believe that everything is energy, and cancer for me is some sort of disturbance of the energy field that happens in certain parts of the body. And we had chosen to consult somebody else who could give us another opinion in a different language. So we reached out, you could say, if you look at the algorithm, we reached out for a different way of thinking and maybe different vocabulary. I mean, words, thoughts, they are all creative energy. And if somebody tells you, oh, you've got a serious problem and you're going to die, and if you're going to believe them, well, the chances are you might actually believe them, and you might manifest that belief and literally die. And I am not joking and I am not laughing, because there is this phenomenon in science called placebo effect and nocebo effect. And I'm sure that you have heard about placebo, right? When we are talking about giving somebody a pill, and this person believes so much that this pill is going to work, and the person heals. Literally on the power of energy, on the power of thought and belief. And that is literally the algorithm of creation. The person believed, they generated feelings, and their body started to heal, because our bodies have that ability that they can align, right? They come back to balance when we focus our energies. And that's what I'm telling you. You need to choose the right kinds of thoughts and then align your feelings, and your body will start responding. Whether it's the enthusiasm and possibility about manifesting some money or creating some money, or it is about healing your own body, right? So nocebo, on the other hand, is unfortunately the moment in time when you believe someone that what they said, the negative diagnosis, is actually going to become the self-fulfilling prophecy, and you will believe that you have the disease, that this diagnosis equals a fact for you. They say you have 6 months to live, and you're like, oh my gosh, I have 6 months to live, and you're going to start acting like it, you're going to start thinking like it, and even before 6 months are done, you're done. And there were studies when they showed people who actually were diagnosed, okay, with cancer. These people died very shortly, they died, and they did autopsy, on these people, and they had not found any cancer. So people literally thought themselves to death. And you better believe that it is true, because this is happening to humans every single day, whether it is diseases or it's financial ruin or it's relationship issues. People are so attached to their thoughts, to their feelings, to their point of view, and to their beliefs, that they actually start acting so in alignment with those that they create the life that they do not want, or they believe other people when they say the negative things. Or, well, as I said, diagnosis is just an opinion in a sense, because doctor, in my case, one doctor called it cancer. The person that was a bioenergotherapist, he called it energy blockage. So which option gives more opportunity? Cancer creates incredible fear, right? And you are immediately in a stress response, and you might be motivated to take all sorts of actions. It depends what kind of person you are, but most people will get really paralyzed and stressed, and it will be a very intense journey for them, right? For me, what has happened, we had taken this, we had calmed down, and then we immediately started to think different thoughts. We want to talk to another person, we want to consult, we want to see what else is out there. And that empowered us. We didn't buy in to doctor's idea of me. Actually, I quote, he said, take 6 months of your life because you're going to go through chemo and your life is going to change. I actually specifically asked him, and what's going to happen with my hair? And he said, well, it's going to fall away. And by the way he said it, it was just like, not a big deal. Forgive me, doc, but for me, it was a big deal. So it all comes back again to how you are going to choose to think, because that will certainly influence the way you feel. It will certainly influence your state. It will certainly start influencing the results in your life. Okay, so here you have 2 specific examples of how you can implement the algorithm of co-creation in case of health and finances. And it will be the same with anxiety. I mean, I actually even touched on that already. So I'm just looking if there's any live questions. No, I just see yes and hands up. So guys, I could be coming up actually with questions myself and examples, but I would like to keep those lives short and sweet, up to 15 minutes. Now we have been going on for half an hour again. Until there is more juices flowing here and there's more people coming on those lives, what I'm going to do, I'm going to keep them to, between 15 minutes and half an hour. And I would like to more and more speak about practical applications of the pillars and of the Lovetarian way, because the idea for me is not to just be talking about whatever I want without people listening, actually applying and living it. I am living this every single day of my life. I am walking the walk and talking the talk of the Lovetarian way. Ask anybody who knows me. My life is full of challenges, like anybody's life is, and I am choosing to look at life as an opportunity, as an evolution, as a way for me to grow and evolve and really love myself deeply, because I know when I think loving thoughts, I know when I feel loving feelings, when I vibrate in this beautiful field of unconditional love and I embody that love, I know that my good comes to me from everywhere and everyone all the time. When there is a challenge, whether I feel anxious or I might need some money or I might have a health challenge, which actually, by the way, to be honest, guys, since I started this work 11 years ago, less and less and less of that. There are all sorts of challenges, other challenges, because as you grow, there will be challenges. That's just how it is. If you're just sitting on your butt doing nothing, there will not be much happening. But when you decide to do something, when you have a project, when you have a mission, when you are in action, when you're trying things, there will always be challenges. And my go-to practice is the algorithm. I will actually tell you to close up so much for 15 minutes, right? This morning, I was not feeling great. Whether it was something in the field, because, we are all connected, the energies are floating there. Whatever it was, it affected me for some reason. So I was feeling not so good maybe for 15 minutes. I went for a walk and the thoughts just kept coming about what is going on in the world, the masks and all of that. So it didn't make me feel so good. So then I thought, okay, well, let's look at this algorithm of co-creation that I'm talking about like a crazy person. Let's apply that into my life. Let's apply it into my life. So I went home, I sat down, actually I lie down, flat on the mat. I was breathing for like probably good 5 minutes. And that's what I encourage everyone to do. When you don't feel so good and you can be alone, even if you cannot be alone, go somewhere where you could, I don't know, even bathroom. Okay, maybe smells are not the best there, but it's still good. You can be alone. Sit down, lie down if you can, straight spine, and just take deep breaths. In through your nose, out through your mouth, and do it for a minute or two. Touch your heart. And then just close your eyes and start focusing on the thoughts that are going through your mind. See how you feel in your body. Chances are not so great. Chances are the thoughts are not so inspirational. So I want you to do that. And then, as we practice today, pause and start thinking. Choose a thought that is the opposite. So I was thinking today, what was it? You see, I don't even remember because I already turned it around so much that now I will invoke the feelings again, but that's okay. For the purpose of this broadcast, I can do that. I believe I was just thinking that, why is it so that so many people are wearing those masks and they are not even making eye contacts, like looking away, and it was just so strange. And they seemed to me like they were very stressed, the people that I met. So then I was actually starting to, pick on that feeling, and I started to feel the same. It was very strange, even though there was no reason for me. So what I had done, I just sat down and I was starting to generate feelings of love and compassion. Feelings of love and compassion. And I just got into the skin of these people because they felt to me like they were really, really, really stressing and really afraid, really believing in what we had just been talking about. Diagnosis. They were believing that whatever is happening right now in the world is actually very, very dangerous, that this virus, Corona, COVID, is very dangerous. It is not my belief whatsoever. And again, this is not a broadcast about Corona. I am a strong believer, and you know what? And that's what I started to really immediately think. And I was imagining that I was radiating those thoughts to these people. I was imagining and I was thinking that I have a very, very strong immune system. and that no matter what is going on with this virus, I am always protected, I am always safe, I am taking care of myself, my immunity is very high, and I was imagining these people literally picking up my thoughts. You know what I did? I put my hand on my heart and I was radiating incredible field of love. I don't know if you know that heart's energy, electromagnetic energy, is the most powerful energy field that you actually have. So if you can do so, that you will align your thoughts with the feelings that are radiating from your heart, the energy field, the electromagnetic energy field that will be creating around your body will go meters and meters outside of your body. So if I was sending these people loving thoughts and generating the same loving feelings in my body, I was like a beacon of love and light, literally. So I was just healing myself because I was affected by, I would think it was just the looks of these guys, you know, that because I am not wearing mask myself. I actually got official letter from a doctor. I do not have to wear a mask because of some allergy, respiratory allergies. The fact of the matter is that I am not a believer in wearing a mask because I am a believer in healthy breath, that you need to breathe in order to be healthy. So therefore, I am not allowing anyone to put a mask on me. And I've created a possibility that I don't need to do it because I got a medical paper from a doctor that I have an allergy. So therefore, I don't need to wear it. I do actually, in fact, have allergies to humidity and fungus and so on. So my doctor was kind enough to give me a paper which allows me to do that. And I tell you, in over 11 years, I had not had any health issues. I had been super healthy because of the mindset I have been practicing, because of how I take care of my immune system. I have actually done the test for corona as well, just because I wanted to know. I was curious, and of course, it's perfect. There's nothing going on. The same with my husband. We have been exemplary examples of health, taking care of ourselves very well and cultivating loving thoughts, cultivating healthy thoughts, and really truly believing that the source of our power is in here and here and in a very healthy body as a consequence of healthy thoughts, healthy feelings, and radiating that out. So I was doing that. I was focusing on my heart and my mind, and I was sending this energy to these people. And when I did that, I started to feel good. I started to feel good, and I imagined that these people were also feeling very good, that they were soothing, their hearts were soothed, their minds were soothed, and they were not afraid. So that's another exercise that you can actually do every time you feel like you're picking some energies from the field. You're seeing a person that is maybe not looking at you kindly or giving you the, what's the word, evil eye. Instead of getting into a conversation or try to convince someone, you just take a, go to a quiet corner and you do this exercise. When you focus in your mind and in your heart, you do the coherence, balance between your mind and your heart by taking deep breaths and imagining how you are radiating a beautiful energy of electromagnetic field into the field out there, and how it's connecting with these people and how it's helping them. You can give thanks. I actually do that, and I'm going to pick that up tomorrow when we're talking about Pillar 1 and 100% responsibility. I will talk to you about Ho'oponopono and how that can enhance everything that we have been talking about today. Okay, since I went over at least 15 minutes, I'm going to wrap this up, and I'm going to just to summarize. So I have given you today, again, a practice of the algorithm, how you can apply it into your finances, into your health, and how you can, of course, soothe anxiety, fear by using this consciously, combining it with the power of breath and combining it with, visualization, you can say. Okay, so thank you for tuning in today, and I will talk to you tomorrow at 5:15. If you have any questions, please keep writing them down. We are making notes, and we are always going to answer questions. Me, myself, and I, me and my higher self. We will be answering questions on Mondays. From what I see so far, there were like 20 questions, and I put them in 3 categories because they were all one and the same. So hopefully, guys, there were some answers out there for you. And if you, can I write down mantra for health? Mantra for health. What do you mean by mantra for health? I was talking about mantra for finances today. So that one. And I will do that in the comments. But you can, Cecile, you can ask me again specifically. But I was talking about today, I was talking about mantra for finances. Shrimp Brazi. So we're clear. It was not mantra for health. We were talking about the algorithm of co-creation. Well, we talked about health, and we talked about the algorithm of co-creation. We were talking about anxieties and finances. The only mantra we were talking about today was Shrimp Brazi, which is the one that will help you manifest abundance, which I talked about last week in Pillar 1 Live. Okay. So we will take it up in comments, I'm sure, again, and discuss some other possibilities and mantras for health. And I will talk about it. I will talk about it tomorrow during Pillar 1 when we're talking about responsibility as well. Okay, guys, seriously, I have got to go now. I am giving you much love, much light, and namaste, and I'll see you tomorrow. Thank you.